when we talk about femininity, when we talk about feminine success, when we talk about being the kind of woman who um, shows up and gets it done in your day-to-day life, sometimes we act like those things are mutually beneficial, that you can't show up, get results, work, and also be feminine and also be the kind of woman who maintains peace and calmness in your life. But it does mean that you have to be strong in a different way. You have to have boundaries in a different way. You have to know really what your boundaries are. So I'm so excited to have this conversation with you all tonight. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. This is totally conversational. I love when you guys show up ready to receive. So, if you are here and you are ready to receive, if you are in the Facebook group, make sure to post into the comments, I'm here, I'm ready. If you are here on Instagram, make sure that you are in the comments. Let me know you are here and you are ready to receive. All right, y'all. I'm just going to let you know early. This is going to be a good one. For those of you who have been in my inbox, who have been saying, yeah, we miss the old, we miss the old lives, we back. Okay, so I want to let you know that ahead of time. You want to grab your notebook, you want to grab your pen, you want to grab a beverage, you want to get really comfortable. Turn down your home, turn down your environment, put the kids to bed so that we can get into it, because this is totally going to support you in transforming the way that you do work, the way that you protect your mind, the way that you protect your energy as you are going about being great, right? As you're going about the journey to your greatness, whatever that is, whatever that looks like. So if you're ready, let me know that you are ready. If you are here and you are ready, let me know that you're ready. I don't want to be talking to an empty room now. If you're here on Facebook, you're watching and you are ready for this word, let me know that you are ready. Tonight, I have 10 steps to protect your mind. I have not done a 10-step live in quite some time. So this is going to be so good. Y'all know this is going to be so good. And as I was thinking about this today, I've watched, I will admit, I am not the biggest sports fan. I do have my certain sports that I like, but I'm not the biggest, like I'm Olympics and things like that. And this year I kind of had my feelings about it because we are in a pandemic. But as I'm watching these women, what I first realized is that to become an Olympian is probably one of the most rigorous goals to accomplish. It's something that you have to commit to for years. You have to have discipline on top of discipline. You have to be the person who is showing up and practicing day and night. You have to commit your life to it. There are so many sacrifices that go into that. And we're looking at these women who have taken the journey, who have made the sacrifice, get there and say, enough is enough. Very much like we often have goals, we have dreams, these things that we want to accomplish. And as you start to check those things off of your list, as you start to take those steps that are going to get you to the success that you're looking for, and you see yourself on the path, if you're not protecting your mind, if you're not protecting your energy, at some point, this thing that you love, this thing that was this amazing goal for you, an accomplishment that meant the world to you, will suddenly feel like way too much. So I have been there. I know motherhood was that Olympian goal for me. And I wanted lots of kids. I've always wanted lots of kids, obviously. But for those who don't know, I'm a mom of four. I'm a wife to an amazing man. I am a life and business coach to a phenomenal community of women. And those are things that I always wanted for myself. I've always wanted to be a wife. I've always wanted to be a mother, but I always, even more so, wanted to be the kind of woman who was present for my community, who was able to show up and donate and give and do things in a bigger way that solved real problems within my home and outside of my home. But on that journey and on the commitment, the sacrifice, the dedication that it took and that it does still take, I kind of lost myself. I lost myself and I became overwhelmed. I lost myself because the goal had come, right? I'd gotten the goal, but I had not defined who I was in the process. And so when I got there, there was this success on the outside that everyone else was like, oh my goodness, you did it. You did what you said you would do. You are where you wanted to be in life. And on the inside, I just wasn't quite there. I wasn't quite feeling like this is it. And I knew that there was more for me. And what's so interesting is that oftentimes when we say, I know that there's more for me, folks think that you're talking about more accomplishment. They think that you're talking about more accolades, more awards, more opportunities to shine in your gift. And yes, that's a part of it. But really, when you say, I know there's more for me, your mind is saying, I know that there's more fulfillment available for me. I know that there's an easier way. I know that there's more to me than what I am giving right now. And so, it's so beautiful that we are seeing women at a very high level saying there's more to me than this. And my boundary is a hard no right now. So I want to talk about 10 steps to protect your mind. 10 steps to protect your mind. If you're ready, let me know that you're ready. Over here on Facebook, let me know that you are ready in the comments. If you're watching me here on Instagram, let me know that you are ready in the comments. Y'all are being shy on Instagram tonight, but I see y'all. Oh, goodness. All right. So let me know you're ready, people. Let me know. I see some hearts on Instagram. I see some hearts. Thank you. Thank you so much. So the first step to protect your mind, is find out the thoughts that are keeping you in a labor loop. World of Danny says she's ready. Ariane Broussard says she's ready. Good night, Ariane. So the first step is to find out the thoughts that are keeping you in a labor loop. Say that again. Find out the thoughts that are keeping you in a labor loop. What does that look like? A labor loop looks like being in a constant mindset of I have to hustle, I have to do more, I have to get it done. Okay, I want to sit down and rest, but I can't because I need to A, B, C. A labor loop says I need to grind to get what I want, that I need to struggle now so that I can have what I want later. The labor loop, and I love always bringing the conversation back to not only femininity as a abstract concept, right? But femininity as a tangible truth. Okay, let's think about, you are living right now to bring forth your best, most purposeful, most divine, predestined life. You are bringing forth the assignment that was encoded in you, right? Right. So we can liken that to giving birth. Now imagine if you are giving birth, you got this big old baby inside of you that you've been growing. Your baby has been growing in you your whole life. Your best life has been growing inside of you your whole life. So this baby is inside of you waiting to come out, right? But you're stuck in labor. You're stuck in labor. The thing is, in our minds, we don't have the technology to cut that baby out. So the only way that baby is going to come out of you is if you birth it. But because it's in your mind, the thing that's stopping you and keeping you stuck in that loop is also in your mind, your thoughts. There are thought programs that are running in your mind that are keeping you stuck in a labor loop and is stopping you. It's not stopping you from producing any fruit at all, but it's stopping you from birthing your best life. Okay. The life that feels most authentic for you, the life where you speak up and stand up and advocate for yourself, the life where you are respected for your choices and not questioned for your choices, the life where you are surrounded by people who support you and who love you and will love you on your journey. Okay, so the first step is to find out the thoughts that are keeping you in a labor loop, keeping you in the space where you're accomplishing, but you're never fully able to reach your potential, even if the world thinks so. One thing that every successful woman has experienced is the feeling of there's more for me, but everyone around me thinks that I've done enough. Everyone around you thinks you've done enough. What more do you want to do? But you know that there's more for you. They think that you're at the mountaintop because that's as far up as they can see. And so finding out those thoughts that are keeping you in that labor loop, the thoughts that are telling you, I have to push through, I have to keep working, I have to keep struggling and striving. Those thoughts and sometimes traditions that are keeping you in that labor loop, that are keeping you from your ease and flow in life, is the first step, finding out what those thoughts are. The second step is to know your mind. If we're going to talk about protecting your mind, you have to know your mind. You have to know what it feels like, what it looks like when you are reaching a point of overwhelm. So I was reading an article actually about Simone Biles and what she says happened with her. And in gymnastics, they call it the twisties. In life, it is anxiety, high level anxiety. It's the feeling of, now that I'm at the moment to perform, I know I'm not where I need to be mentally. I know I'm not going to show up. I know that because my mind isn't where it needs to be, I could potentially hurt myself or fumble this thing that I have really, really worked hard for. So let me step back for a second and regroup myself. It just so happened that it happened to her at the Olympics. But you have got to know your mind, because here's the thing. As much as we can say, oh, she shouldn't have stopped, she should have stayed in, she should have whatever, that, which is foolishness. No one knows you better than you know yourself. You knowing your mind gives you confidence that no one knows you better than you know yourself. You knowing your mind allows you to, when the critics are telling you, even when the closest people in your life are telling you to go left, but you know you need to go right, you're going to step into the right path. You're going to make the right decision for yourself, because no one lives inside of your mind but you. So what you may know is about to cause a problem, they may see and say, well, you could just get over it. You can handle that as soon as you get off the mat, as soon as you get off the floor, as soon as you finish that sales call, as soon as whatever. But you know that it's time for you to step back and refresh and recalibrate. so that you can truly give your best. So know your mind, know your triggers, know your tics, know what it looks like when you start spiraling, know what it looks like when you are giving peak performance, know what you need in order to make those things happen. So protecting of your mind can also come and should be coming beforehand, so that when you are on the floor, when you are in the game, the chances of you having to quit in the game are a lot less. But that doesn't mean that if you're in the game and you feel like, you know what, this ain't it, that you just stay in. No, 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 no. Okay. It is your job. You are your first line of protection. I tell my clients this all the time. You are your first line of protection. So often, when we get femininity teaching, when we hear about womanhood, when we hear about doing things in a softer way, the thought is that we are relinquishing our authority. We are relinquishing the need to be protected. We are relinquishing that duty onto someone else. We're looking for a man or something outside of ourselves to make that a reality, to make feeling protected or provided for, whatever have you. However, you are always your first line of protection. Okay, so you have got to know your mind. The third step is to prioritize your needs. Prioritize your needs. This is so important. Most women have prioritized work. Of course, we prioritize work. Most women prioritize family. Prioritize your girls, showing up and being there for your friends. You prioritize being there for your coworkers. You prioritize being there for your extended family and taking care. You've prioritized everything else in your life. Not only have you prioritized it, but I'll show you how you've prioritized it. You have created systems to make sure that those things get done. There are systems to make sure that your children eat and are fed every day. There are systems to make sure that your work gets done and your deadlines are met. There are systems to make sure that you onboard your clients effectively, that you make the amount of sales that you want, that you hit your financial goals, that you show up for your mother and you show up for your little cousin's soccer games. You have systems around all of those things. But where are your systems for your needs? Where are your systems for how you show up for yourself when you need you? And that's why proper coaching is so important, because these are not just systems that you pull out of the air. Most of us have never seen women prioritize their needs in our lives. Most of us have only seen women who sacrifice themselves, women who overgive, women who over expect from folks because they are constantly living with an empty cup. Okay, so having a space where you can learn the right systems to support your life, to support your needs as a woman who is showing up for everyone else. Okay, what you systemize is what you've truly prioritized. You can say your self-care is a priority. You can say taking care of your mental health is a priority. But if you are only taking care of yourself truly in the truest sense, if you're only showing up for yourself in the truest sense when you have reached crisis mode, when you are falling apart, when you are ready to give up, you've not created systems and you're not prioritizing yourself. I'm just telling the truth. And so the third step is to prioritize your needs, not just know your needs, but prioritize them. The fourth step to protecting your mind is to talk to your team. Talk to your team. A part of the systems that you create for yourself in your wellness journey, in your work journey, in your greatness journey, really, is not just a self-care thing, it's a community care thing. The people around you are a part of your systems. The people in your world, your team, your friends, your family, just like you're a part of their systems, they should be a part of your systems. But here's the thing, many women, especially high performing women, successful women, we're used to getting things done quickly. We're used to doing things on our own. And so even the act of asking can be difficult. Even knowing what to say can be difficult. And so talking to your team, making it a practice to talk to your team, helps you to get better and better and better at it. A better team makes protection easier as well, protecting your mind easier as well, because your community is your second layer of protection. Your community is your second layer of protection. Your husband is your community. Your boyfriend is your community. Your girlfriends are your community. Your kids are your community. Your teammates are your community. Co-workers are your community. Your team members, your employees. These are all people that are a part of your community, but if you don't know how to leverage that second layer of protection, you won't be able to protect your mind. So talk to your community. And here's the thing, talk before you need to. Start practicing talking to your community now before you need to talk to your community. Okay, so talk before you need to. That takes some of the awkwardness out of it, because by the time you need to, you've already started having conversations, you've already started building intimacy into those relationships, clarified your needs to those folks. And so they are willing and able, and they know how to jump right into action for you. So talk to your team. One of the most beautiful things, as soon as, well, not as soon as, but maybe a couple hours later, after Naomi decided, or Simone decided that she was going to drop out of the Olympics, basically. And also the same thing happened for Naomi when she decided, was that the people around them, while the world was saying what they shouldn't have done and all these other things, what they should have done and all these things, the people in their world, their teams knew exactly what to do for them, knew exactly what to say for them. And the people that mattered most were able to be there to support them. So you want to make sure that you're creating support systems like that in your life. You do that through communication. You do that through fostering and cultivating connection. All right. So the fifth step is to communicate your vulnerabilities. Today, we are talking about how to protect your mind. For those who are just popping on for the first time, I'm Yaya Smith. I'm the Feminine Success Coach, and I help women to create the life that they absolutely love, where they are well loved and well supported in all areas of their lives. And so today we're talking about how to protect your mind. For high performing women, you are protecting your skills, you are protecting your body, you're protecting your work, you're protecting your gifts, your talents, and the things that mean a lot to you. And a lot to the world, a lot to the people who depend on you. But it's also important that you are protecting who you are behind your accomplishments, who you are when the lights go down, who you are when you're flying home, who you are when you get into your home and you close the door, that you're protecting that side of you as well. Because feminine success is holistic success. Okay, it's not just about being successful on the mat. It's not just about being successful on TV. It's not just about being successful in your business, but is your whole life successful from the inside out? And so the fifth step is to communicate your vulnerabilities. And here's the thing, because I always get, whenever I talk about vulnerability, folks say, well, I don't want to be a burden, and I don't want people to feel some kind of way. I don't want folks to exploit me or anything like that. Here are my thoughts really quickly on vulnerability and why we communicate our vulnerability. You don't communicate vulnerability so that people will feel sorry for you. Okay, high performers, Let me know that y'all hear me. Let me know that y'all are here and y'all hear me, and that you understand that you don't communicate vulnerability so that people will feel sorry for you. You communicate vulnerability so that people feel something. So that they feel something. Okay? Here's the thing. Here's how you know that you have not yet gotten to the point in your life where you are able to make people feel something for you when you are going through difficulty. They'll say things like, "Oh, you'll be fine. I know you got it, girl. You're going to get over that. You're going to come through." But you're like, "But I really just I need a break right now. I need to rest right now. I need someone to feel something for me." Maybe they think that you are so strong that you always got it, that you don't need community, that you don't need anybody to feel something or say anything or any of that because you got it. So you're not communicating vulnerability so that people feel sorry for you. You communicate vulnerability so that they feel something, so that they understand, hey, she's human. She is a person. She needs support. Okay, so that's the fifth. Let's do a really quick recap before we go through the next five. I told y'all I was giving y'all an old school Yaya live tonight. We have 10 steps. Y'all been in my inbox, you've been telling me, Yaya, we miss the old lives. We miss when you would come on and just talk to us. Well, here you go. All right. So the first step to protecting your mind is to find out the thoughts that are keeping you in a labor loop. And we liken the labor loop to basically being pregnant and in labor, the hard part, forever. You're not able to give birth and bring forth your best life because there are thoughts in your mind, there are programs that you are running that are informing your actions and keeping you stuck in a labor loop. All right. The second step is to know your mind. You've got to know your own mind. You've got to know your triggers. You've got to know what it looks like when you need to stop. You've got to know what that looks like. It's past time. We are all too old to be letting ourselves fall apart at this point in our life when we see the signs 6 months ago. Okay. It's time to know your mind so that you can put systems and processes and priorities in place to support what you need to perform at your best. So know your mind. The third is to prioritize your needs. Again, creating those systems. What you prioritize, you systemize. And if your self-care really is a priority, what are your systems? That's all I'm asking. All right. Okay. So work is a priority. We prioritize work. We make sure we get things done on time. Work is a priority, but so is your wellness. So is your wellness. The fourth step is to talk to your team. A better team makes protection easier because your team is your second layer of protection. You are your first layer. Your team is your second layer. All right. The fifth is to communicate your vulnerabilities. Communicate your vulnerabilities because people need to feel something. They need to know that you're human. They need to know that you need support sometimes. They need to know that you are like them. You might not be just like them, but just like they need help sometimes, just like they need a break sometimes, just like they need to stop sometimes, so do you. Your battery needs to recharge too. So you want to get comfortable communicating your vulnerabilities. And here's something else that I say within my community. Everyone is not entitled to your vulnerabilities. Mm-mm. That's why talking to your team, building the right team, having a support system is important because that's who you're communicating those vulnerabilities to. All right. Step six, get the right guidance. Get the right guidance. Protecting your mind is so connected to having the right guidance in your life. Here's the thing. Simone Biles' coach, Naomi Osaka's coach, their therapists want them to be well just as much as they want to be well. Okay? They have people around them who are just as invested in their wellness as they are. Okay? So here's what often happens. We get guidance, but we don't get the right guidance. You're getting guidance from your friend who wishes that she had your job. Of course she's going to tell you, "Oh girl, don't slow down. Oh no, you just got a promotion. You need to keep going. You need to hustle, sis." Of course she's going to tell you that. So you got guidance, but it wasn't the right guidance. Okay, so get the right guidance, and that has to be a priority. When we talk about prioritizing your systems for caring for yourself, for caring for your mind, having the right people around you to guide you, not just to support you, because your family can support you, your friends can support you, your spouse can support you, but guidance comes from those who not only are invested in your goals, but they have the expertise, they have the knowledge, they have the training, they have the strategies and systems that you need to point you in the right direction. Okay, guidance comes from people who have been there. Support comes from those who are around you. Okay, but guidance comes from those who have been there. All right, so get the right guidance. The right coach in the right community wants to protect you too. They want to protect you too. Okay, so the seventh step, this one is so important, y'all, and I think even I struggle with this one. Block out the noise. Block out the noise. When you are performing in your life in any way, whether you are performing in your household, you're performing in your work life, you are performing in your relationships, there will always be, and you decide you need a break, you need to stop, you need to regroup. There will always be people with various opinions of what you should do. Always. Your job is to block out the noise. And the only way that you can block out the noise is by knowing your mind. Right? Again, they don't know you like you know you, no matter how close they are. And so you've got to block out the noise. The more you trust yourself, your team, and your talent, the easier it is to ignore the hecklers and the critics. Okay. It's so interesting because we women in general, I see it happening with Simone Biles, and it's so funny. The people who critique the hardest, the people who make the most noise, the people who will call you lazy for taking a break haven't done a fraction of what you're done or what you've done or what you're going to do. They haven't done any of it. But they like watching you, so they don't want you to take a break. Okay, you've got to block out the noise, especially the noise from people who have no systems for themselves, have no boundaries for themselves, are not reaching for the same kinds of goals that you're reaching for. They never say no. They never say, "I need a break." They never say, "Let me go and take care of myself so that I can perform better." And generally, they don't have good advice to give because they don't understand what high level performing is. The audience is the audience for a reason. Okay, so you've got to make sure that you are willing to block out the noise that does not grow you. All right, you've got your fans and you've got the audience. Make sure to distinguish the two. Make sure to distinguish the people who want to see you grow, who want to see you succeed, who want to see you thrive, from the people who just want to see you. All right. So block out the noise. That's step 7. Step 8 is to trust your gift. Trust your gift. It was given to you divinely. And here's why it's important that you trust your gift, because your gift will make room for you in many rooms, not just one. If you don't know your mind and you don't trust your gift, what happens is people start to make you feel like the room that they've made for you is the only room there is for you. And those are the things that start to create self-doubt, that start to create second guessing, and that eventually lead to you living a life that you never intended for yourself. You've got to trust what is inside of you, because that is what will make room for you, not people's opinions, okay? Not anything outside of you, but your gift will make room for you in many rooms. All right, step 9. Step 9, we are almost at the end, ladies, and I am definitely going to make time for questions and answers at the end. So make sure that you are getting your questions ready. There's going to be some live coaching. So I hope y'all have actually had your notebooks out this whole time. All right. So step 9 is to be more than you do. Be more than you do. So that's kind of double entendre, right? Because be refers to a state of ease. It refers to a state of being outside of your work and truly noticing yourself, truly noticing how you feel, enjoying the present moment. So we can say, be in the abstract more than you do. However, when I wrote this down, what I really meant was the more simplified understanding that you are more than your accomplishments. You are more than your performance. I saw Simone post, I believe she made this comment yesterday, and I've felt this before. I felt this my entire upbringing, and I'll talk about it. And that is, when you are really good, there can often be the feeling that people only care about what you're good at. People only care about the performance. People only care about the grades. People only care about the sales goals. People only care about those sides of you, what you can do for them. Okay, whether that's entertaining them or making them more profitable or whatever that is. But I want you to know that you are more than your accomplishments. And so often, what we try to do is to get other people to see that. But the one who needs to see that and stand up for that is you. So Simone wrote, seeing the outpouring of support has helped her to realize that she is more than her accomplishments and she is more than gymnastics. And that's something that she's never felt before. I know my mother expected me to be straight A's every quarter, every semester, get to college, dean's list. And if that wasn't happening, nothing else mattered. And there are often people in your world who will feel that way, and that's no shade to them. They really just want you to be the best, and that is how they are showing their love. However, you've got to realize for yourself how you need to be loved and cared for, what you need to feel. Again, the being side of you, what does that side of you need? And you have got to feed that side of you so that you, in your personal thought life, in your relationships, are more than just your accomplishments, are more than just what you bring to the table. Okay? Because who's trying to sit at a table for the rest of their life? There is way too much life out here to enjoy, to just focus on, oh, what do you bring to the table? What do I bring to life? What do you bring to life? Okay. And so it's so important that you are more than what you do, that you be more than you do. All right. So the 10th step is to embrace ease and grace. Affirm to yourself. Affirm to yourself. And if you get nothing else from this live, protect your mind with this affirmation. It doesn't have to be hard, and I don't have to struggle. It does not have to be hard, and I don't have to struggle. All right. And by adopting this mindset where prioritizing protecting your mind comes first, taking care of yourself comes first, that doesn't mean that you become selfish, that nothing ever gets done, that you're just laying in the shade, sipping lemonade until the sheriff comes and serves an eviction notice. No, that's not what that means. It does not mean that you go and find a sponsor. That's not what that means. But what it does mean is that you are able to operate with more ease and grace in your day-to-day life, that you are able to uphold your boundaries without lashing out, without falling apart, without breaking down to build yourself up. You're able to show up in your life and even say no with ease and grace. You're able to make the most aligned choices in your every single day. You're able to make the most aligned choices in your home life, in your work life, in your relationship. You're able to do what actually makes sense for you without second guessing yourself. You find that you have more room to grow in your life, because when you step outside of the idea that you are your accomplishments, you see more that you are actually able to accomplish. Okay. So you are also able to be more respected. Truly, you're able to be more respected when you prioritize yourself. And a lot of people kind of think it would be the opposite. But the truth is, when you start using your voice, people will start respecting your voice. And when you start using your voice effectively, they will respect your voice. Okay. Nothing about it is whining. Nothing about it is a tantrum. Nothing about it is any of those things. Nothing about it is angry. Nothing about it is an attack. Simply clarity and communication. And because you know how to use your voice, folks will respect your voice. You're also able to be more valuable in every area of your life. When you stop saying yes to everything, you actually become more valuable. And so many people think that, again, it's the opposite, because the reason you become more valuable is because now you have clearer boundaries. If you think about this. All right. The free party that everyone can get to, that anybody can walk in, you can wear whatever you want, you can do, say, whatever. Is that as valuable as the VIP party that only a certain amount of people are able to get to, only a certain type of person is able to be a part of? There are amazing treats, top level gifts, everything is luxury, curated. That's the party you want to be at, and that's the one that you value being a part of. Become VIP access. Make yourself and your life VIP access. And this isn't about putting up walls and shutting people out. No, this is not about that. This is about realizing that your thoughts are VIP access. Your home is VIP access. Your work is VIP access. You can choose how you work, when you work, why you work. Your life, your relationships, VIP access. And that protects your mind because you're no longer filling your life and surrounded by stressors. You're no longer surrounded by things that you actually don't want. You're doing what is aligned. You are loving who is aligned. Your work is aligned. Your home feels aligned. So I hope that this has been valuable for you all, valuable and supportive for y'all. And I want to open the floor for questions. I want to give you guys even more value by giving you time to have your questions answered. I am over here on Instagram on the top and here on Facebook and YouTube on bottom. So wherever you are, I can see you. I'm going to give you guys some time, but ask your questions, and I'm here to answer, to support, to coach you in any way that I can. Thank y'all so much for the love over there on Instagram. I wish that there were hearts on Facebook, but thank y'all so much for the love. I appreciate that. Thank you, Tony Commons. So good to see you here tonight. If you have questions, make sure to ask them. Give me 1 second over here on Facebook. Let me all right, there you go. Okay. Let's see. Maisa, I'm gonna assume that's how you say your name, Maisah, asks, what if you have no team? So I said here to talk to your team. A better team makes protection easier because you have the second layer of protection, which is your community. So I want you to think about your community, Maisa. Who are the people around you that you are supporting? You are probably a part of someone's team, whether that's a family team, whether those are friends, you are a part of a team. So that's the first place to talk to your team, is within your actual community, the people who are right around you, who are supporting you or that you are supporting. Sometimes folks say, well, I'm supporting everyone in my life, but no one is supporting me. Or I'm supporting everyone, but I'm really just a one-woman army. Been there, and I understand. Here's the thing. A lot of times we are not getting the support that we need because we are not communicating effectively or communicating to the right person. You may be asking for the support that you need from someone who is not able to give you that support. Alternatively, you may be discounting the support that you need from someone who can give you that support. Have you ever said to yourself, well, I'm not going to ask because they probably can't do it anyway? Or I'm not going to ask because they probably won't do it anyway? Or they probably won't say yes? So a lot of times we are telling ourselves no before we give others the opportunity to tell us no. So that's the first thing, is making sure that you are communicating to the people who are part of your community. The second piece is that if you realize that you truly do not have a team, because I've been there as well. I moved to a city when I was 20 and I knew no one. And it was a mess, but I had to learn to build a support system while I was there, and I built an amazing support system. People I still talk to this day, who are great. but I had to put in the groundwork of building a support system around me. So if you truly realize after talking to your community, understanding your needs and actually communicating what those needs are, seeing if they're able to show up for those needs and they're not, then you've got to build a support system. I tell my clients all the time, we live in a world with almost 8 billion people, probably more than 8 billion at this point. There is a support system out here for you. There is a tribe for you. Okay, I am not an extrovert. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm not an extrovert. So I'm not the person who walks in a room and can talk to anyone. I'm not that person. And I've still been able to build a support system. I went through high school and was like, had 5 friends. So trust me when I say, if I can build a support system, so can you. It's just having the right strategy and having the right methods to actually make that happen. So I hope that that was supportive for you, Maisa, and that it was supportive for anyone who had that same question, because that is a really, really common one. Let me see. Y'all keep getting pointed downward over here, Facebook, but all right. Are there any? All right. Are there any other questions, you guys? Any other questions? Any other questions? That was such a good one, because not having a team is a real thing, or not knowing that you have a team is also a real thing. There's so many times that the support I needed was right around me, but I just didn't know how to ask for it. Or Lord, yeah, the support I needed was right around me and I did not know how to ask. I didn't really know what I needed. I would get a little bit of help, but it didn't really fulfill the need. But that was because I was not expanding my mind around what my actual needs are, what my real goals were, and what I really wanted to accomplish. And sometimes we can also be closed-minded around who should be helping us. We tell ourselves, well, I'm helping this person and that person and that person, but so they should be helping me. They don't always have what you need. They don't always have what you need to be supported. So be mindful of that and never accept or settle for less in the help department because you're thinking that, well, my family should be helping me or my friends should be supporting me, because sometimes they just don't have what you actually need. All right. Checking for questions on Instagram. Are there any other questions, y'all? Any other questions? Let me know. I'm here for you. My children are in bed, so I have a little time. My children are in bed. Hopefully they're asleep. If they're not, they're laying down. All right. So this was a super good live. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are on what's happening in the Olympics right now. It's so interesting because it seems like it's happening even outside of the Olympics. It seems like it's happening in the business realm, but they're not. Most business women are not on TV announcing that they're taking a break. So we don't get to see it. But as an entrepreneur and a coach who sees and works with women, so many women across the board, from business to home life to relationships, are really saying enough is enough. And not enough is enough as in I am quitting on you, I don't want you anymore, I don't like you anymore, but I need a break and I'm going to take it, period. Tyranika says, that is one of the shifts that I've made, utilizing the help around me, getting used to accepting the help and not blocking it or mistaking it for hurt. Oh, that's a good one. Thank you so much for sharing that, Tyranika. That was a good one. Are there any questions over here on Insta? I'm going to stop doing that to y'all over here on Facebook and YouTube, but I'm short. Oh, goodness. So any other questions, y'all? Any other questions? But speaking of accepting help from the people around you, I think about my mindset around performance and high performance. I took that mindset that I had in school, where if it was a B, it should have been an A. You didn't do good enough if you didn't make an A. And I kind of applied that to my home life by feeling like I needed to cook every meal from scratch. I needed to be the person cooking every meal. I was not being a good enough wife if there were not 3 home cooked meals every single day, and snacks for the children, and laundry was done, and the house was clean by the time my husband got home, and all those things that are not bad things. I still love a clean house. I still love home cooked meals, and those things still happen. But I didn't realize that I did not have to do it all. And so my first step was getting clear on those thoughts, realizing you are feeling resentful right now. You are feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling tired because in your mind, the thought that is stopping you from having more time, having more energy, loving your life even more, is that you've got to do it all. And once I knew what was going on in my mind, I started to pay attention to what is happening around me when I start to feel like this. And then I actually started to ask for help every day. I started to ask for help, but I had to ask in the right way. But as soon as I started asking for help, when I tell you I have not stopped, and I have been getting help ever since. My children all can cook. Even the 6-year-old, he can't really cook. 6-year-olds could just do a couple things, but they are so helpful. They are so supportive in the household, and they still have the freedom to live their life and be children. So don't feel like by prioritizing yourself, you're taking anything away from anyone else. Okay. All right. Let me check. All right. Garden of Eden. Hey, Eden. That's one of my feminine success clients. Says it happened to me 2 years ago. I had to request a reduced work schedule while I helped take care of my mom through her chemo treatments. It was hard to ask for, but one of the best things for me. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that, Eden. And it's so interesting, when we come to that moment of vulnerability, that moment of, even though it's hard for me to ask, even though it's awkward, even though I've never done this before and I've always pushed through, this time I've got to say something. And what I find is that if we make it a habit in our everyday lives, then when we come to those really hard moments, like having to take care of your mom through chemo, it's so much easier to ask for help. It doesn't feel, and the whole process can become easier for you because it doesn't feel as difficult as it would have if you were just trying for the first time. But now that you've gotten through that really hard first time, it makes all the rest of the times a lot easier. Let's see. Let me make sure there are no questions on Instagram. Let's see, questions over here on Facebook. How do you get past the anxiety of being around new people, especially on a job? I would actually go to therapy if I were dealing with that kind of anxiety, because you may not know what the root of it is. So that would be something that I will work through in therapy. Again, first step, finding the thoughts that are keeping you in that loop. So I would find a great therapist and start to do the work around that so that you can know your mind, so that you can know what feelings are coming up and where those feelings are coming from. All right. Angela Rosiah says, I want to learn how to create strategies and learn how to prioritize my time. I want to be intentional and learn how to create systems, homeschool, finances. You answered part of the question. Absolutely. So I would definitely say continue to follow me. I'm always teaching about systems. I'm always teaching about how to prioritize your time, how to live your best life, how to do all the things that we take on and that we love. That's the thing. Most of these things we find hard to say no to because you love to do them. But how to do what you love and continue to love what you do, continue to be energized by it, continue to be in a place where your life feeds you so that you can continue to feed your life. All right, let's see. Are there any other questions? Any other questions? No more questions on Instagram. No more questions over here on Facebook. All right, ladies, it has been an amazing night. Thank y'all so much for being here. I hope that this supported you. I hope that getting some insight and perspective on how you can protect your mind, how you can protect your self-care, your boundaries, your mental wellness while you are performing, while you are pursuing success, while you are on your journey to greatness. I hope that this has helped you do just that. Remember that your success is a whole picture, it's not just a piece. And so you're here to bake the whole pie. All right. So I hope that I can continue to give you the ingredients that you need to really create the life that you absolutely love. And with that, I will talk to y'all soon. Thank you so much for joining me, and peace.